Hello, this is Jackie Hill. Good morning to all of Sharon McBeth's students. I'm so sorry that I was unable to get this information to you on our two failed attempts, but never say die. So I just want to going to give you some information today that hopefully will help you with your research. So this is a list of some of the databases that I wanted to show you and tell you about, and I'm going to show you where to locate these on the library website. These are all databases that will give you peer-reviewed articles, which I think is what you need. So let me show you real quickly where to find those. I'm going to the library website, and then I'm going to electronic resources, electronic databases, and then I'm going to databases A through Z. For example, one of the databases that was on the list was the Literary Reference Center Plus. So all I have to do is go to the L's. Here's another one that was on all three of these: Literature Criticism, Literature Resource Center. All I have to do is click on that link. It will take me to the database, and then I can do my search. Sometimes it's helpful for students, I think, to do searches in individual databases as opposed to doing searches in a huge collection of databases like NC Live or EBSCOhost. These are collections of databases, and there's nothing wrong with doing your searches there. However, if you did a search for a topic, for example, if you were doing literary criticism on the short story A Rose for Emily, if you did that search in NC Live, you would get a huge number of hits. If you did it in Literary Reference Center, you would get a much smaller number. And sometimes it's just not as overwhelming to students to search in the individual databases. So just a tip, you can try both. These are some things that you need to do when you're searching. You need to, if the database has a subject terms or thesaurus, which is always located on the upper toolbar, I'll show you one of those in just a moment, then that's a good place to go in and search for keywords that you might want to use, and the subject terms or the thesaurus will give you some clues as to what subject terms to use instead of the keyword that you're searching for. Or maybe it may tell you that the keyword that you're searching for is exactly what you need. If you're searching for a phrase like a title of a story, or for example, if you want to search for, say, the phrase literary criticism, then you could put that phrase in quotation marks and it would find those two words in that order, as opposed to finding something that had literary at some point in the text and criticism somewhere else. You also want to filter for full text. These are common filters that are in almost every database. All of these databases have articles that the full text is not available as of yet, and you want your list of results to contain just those articles that do have the full text. So search for full text. If your professor asks you for scholarly peer-reviewed articles, then make sure that you check that box so that you only get those peer-reviewed articles and not newspaper articles and magazine articles. You also, for this search that you're doing for a literature class, you do not need to worry about the date range. If you were looking for a medical topic or a scientific topic or a technology topic, then you would want the newest information available, because the information on those sorts of topics change so quickly. However, with literary topics, you really don't have to worry about the date range. An article on Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises from 1983 might be just as good as one that was written in 2016. You also want to eliminate book reviews. The only time a book review is going to help you is if you find a review of a book that you may want to search out on your topic. But the information from a book review, you need to find it somewhere else. The book review is not the place to find information for your topic. You can also use the fields in the advanced search to help you narrow or focus results. For example, you can use the field, and there's a whole list of fields. You can select title beside of a keyword that you've put in. For example, if you put in William Faulkner, Then if you select the field title, which is in a drop-down box right beside of the keyword, then it will choose the articles that have William Faulkner in the title. That would also be a good place to use your quotation marks around that phrase. Let me just show you a couple of these things that I'm talking about. I'm going to Academic Search Complete. Here is the subject terms I was telling you about, and I want to search for, I know that I'm doing literary criticism, so I want to see if that's the right term for me to use. Here is literary criticism, and notice that it tells me to use literature dash history and criticism instead of literary criticism. And when I click on this one, it will give me some information. It will tell me what the scope of that subject heading is. Here's some information about that. It will give me some broader terms, and then it will give me narrower terms. For instance, if you are doing poetry instead of short stories, you might want to use this subject heading: poetry, literary form, history, and criticism. So let me show you the fields as well. I really want to do an advanced search. There it is. Now I want to do and notice that I only get one. I've really narrowed this one down. Here is the full text I was talking about. Let's see if this one is full text. It is. Let's see if it's scholarly peer reviewed, and it is. I know that because of the academic journal. It was written 2007. It's only one, and it is an academic journal. The other thing, the fields that I was telling you about, here's select a field. This isn't going to help me on this search, but let me show you one that it will. I'm going to take this out and search again just to get a larger number to show you if I wanted to put A Rose for Emily in the title. So I wanted only those stories. This is the fields that I was telling you about. I only wanted those stories that had A Rose for Emily in the title, and I search and it drops it from 54 to 17. And you can see now that for each one of those, the title of the short story is in the article. Scholarly peer reviewed, full text. Once you open one of these up, it's going to give you the full text, and it's going to give you all your tools. So that's just a quick little rundown on some of those things that I was telling you about. They're pretty self-explanatory, and I don't think will be difficult for you to use at all. And if you do need help, by all means, let one of us know at the library, and we'll be glad to help you. Now, I have also included a link to your instructor about for an MLA review. And when you're doing that, this is what I would suggest that you do. This is a pre-test on MLA, then a tutorial, then a post-test. It won't take you long to do any section of it, and it's just a good review of MLA so that you don't get confused with APA, which you may have been using in other classes. Now, what I suggest that you do, and what I was going to have us do in class if we could have ever gotten together, is to use your pocket style manual. Either the 6th or the 7th edition will do. So what I would suggest that you do is go through that pre-test, the tutorial, and the post-test. But when you do the pre-test and the post-test, read the question, find the answer in your pocket style manual, and then choose your answer. You can even submit your answers. There's a place for you to submit your answers so that you can get a score of what you did right and what you did wrong. But the reason that I want you to find the page number in the MLA section of your pocket style manual is to reinforce the idea that you do not have to remember any of these rules and regulations for using MLA. All you have to do is to be smart enough to go to the manual and find the answer. That's why it's called a reference book. It is there for you to refer to find the answers to questions. So I would strongly suggest that you do that. If you don't have a pocket style manual, you can always use the Purdue Online Writing Lab information for MLA. You can just do a search for Purdue OWL MLA, and it will bring that site up for you. Although I strongly suggest that if you do not have a copy of a pocket style manual, that you buy yourself one. It is a fantastic resource, better to me than Purdue OWL online. There's just it's a very small manual, but there's so much information there. And again, if you need help with any of this information, then you can go to the library website. There is a link there, About Us, a staff directory, and it's got all of our names, phone numbers, and email addresses. And if you have problems finding articles for your research, or if you have questions about how to find resources, what keywords to use, if you have citing information that we can help you find in your manual, we'll be glad to do that. So just give any one of us, there are 8 of us on staff, give any one of us a call. It's good to talk with you, and I hope this helps a little bit and some of the other resources that I sent. And please let me know if you need help. Guys, have a great day.